Well, it should be clear, I hope, by now, that we're just scratching the surface in this course. Hopefully, it's been worthwhile to you. Hopefully, it's been something that you've engaged with and you think is important, and that the things we've looked at are helpful. But we're just scratching the surface. And the last 2 weeks of the course, both of them called the costs, is just the beginning. Um, there are costs to artificial intelligence that are very material costs, and we'll look at that in the last week. But there are costs perhaps to us, and that's something I think that is not discussed enough. When we're talking about artificial intelligence, it's not just that it may cost us a job, or that it may harm the environment, or that it may, in some way or another, change the physical world, material world. Those are really important issues. But I think the most important thing is how artificial intelligence will change us, and that's happening already. There's no question about it. Think about your own education. You're an important generation. You're an interesting generation. A lot of things happened to you during your teenage years, which were not normal, I would say. And one of them was the advent of ChatGPT in, was it 2022, 2023? So either towards the end of your high school or the beginning of your college education, you are one of the last generations that went through most of its education without the presence of AI. Just think about how different your education would have been if AI had been around when you went to kindergarten. Uh, you would have been different. Your education would have been different. You would have been different. So I would say that the costs, perhaps, are the kind of costs that Danaher talks about here, and his fear of going from moral agency to moral patiency, kind of a passivity, because of artificial intelligence. I think this is an incredibly important issue. It's a different thing. If your teacher assigns you 40 pages of reading and struggling through that reading and going through the experience of understanding it and mastering it, as opposed to having ChatGPT give you a 3 paragraph summary of it, it's a different experience. And people can say, well, it makes me more productive. And perhaps it does, but there's something being lost there, especially in education. Because the experience of going through 40 pages of difficult reading and mastering it is a much different experience than understanding a 3 paragraph summary of it. You're being wired differently. You are different because of the difference of the experience. It's, I think, elementary. So, um, one of the costs, perhaps, to the emergence of artificial intelligence, so called, is the costs, how it will affect us, how it will change us. Who knows? Maybe it'll change us for the better in the long run. That's kind of what I want you to address in the final essay for this course. But there's a lot of other effects on us that might be negative, and we're just beginning to scratch the surface by looking at this essay.